What's up, folks? Welcome to Nerd Report. Sorry I'm late, folks. Am I late? What time is it anyways? All right, there we go. Only 9 minutes. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the audio okay here? Audio. Check 1, 2. Electric Boogaloo. Let me see how the audio's doing. What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone? Gotta check the audio before I continue doing this. We got Karen. Oh my God. Thank you, Karen, with the first support super chat. Oh my gosh. That's a big donation. Thank you so much. We really need it to keep the channel moving forward. Let me start off with, saying hi to the people who've been waiting here. Let's see who's been waiting here, and then we'll get to your super chat. Karen, if you want to support the channel, you could do so with a super chat. Super chat. There you go. All right. We got Fuzz. What's up? Tammy. D-Nice, Renee, how you doing? What's up? Make sure to give yourself a shout out in the comments. What's up? Let me see who else we got here. Karen Show, of course. Check out her channel. Shelly in the house. Got a good crowd over here already. Man, I am blessed. I am so blessed to have your support. Cameron's in the house. What is up? Jennifer's in the house as well. Vicky, how you doing? Stay on, folks. Let's check this out. All right, because there's a couple things here. I haven't been following this Doge thing that much. There's so much to follow when it comes to politics. It's hard to get all of it. I'm not an expert. I just play one on TV and on YouTube. But if you guys have any opinions about the situation, you all are welcome to express your opinions and stuff like that, and educate me as well on what's going on. I always laugh when people go, "You got this wrong," or "You don't know this." It's like, dude, that's the first thing I do is say, I don't know everything. That's the first thing I do is say that. So anyways, there's this Doge thing from what I understand, and Elon Musk is, he's exposing government spending, and I don't know why people would be pissed off at this because this is your tax money and stuff. Is there something else I'm missing? I don't know. But let's see what Karen has to say. I watched the whole thing. I love it. Elon's boy is so cute. The only ones complaining about this will be the ones getting rich off the fraud. Would have been cuter if Elon's boy sat on Trump's knee. Haha, love you. And what you do, Lewis. Thank you so much, Karen Show. And one gifted membership by Karen as well on top of that super chat. So let's give it up for Karen. Thank you. That's her opinion. Amazing. Thank you so much for that and everything. So let's they probably don't believe him. I mean, okay, Renee, they don't believe that the government is mismanaging taxpayer money. I mean, I think they are. But anyways, let's go on and review this video and go over it and check it out. And if I have time, I'll go over Karen Bass, the mayor. She spoke as well. She had an update on the fires. But meanwhile, in between time, we'll check this out. There are processes to go through. I mean, yeah, I understand. By the way, the reason I'm going here vertical again is because reaches more people, folks. Bear with me. Today is more of a thing where you could listen and stuff. You can watch as well, but listening is just as effective. Let's check it out. Could you guys hear this?
Necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about $30 million?
Now, there's a woman that walked away with $30 million. That's your money. When they say taxpayer money and government spending, I don't know why people don't equate that as like it's connected to you. Everyone watching here, that's American, right?
Right. Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth.
Okay, that's something we've been noticing for a long time. A lot of people get into politics and they're middle class and then end up rich. Does anyone disagree with that? Should that be questioned? Or should, I mean, you may hate the messenger, but he's pretty much saying what we said.
While they are in that position, which is, you know, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe
they're curious about where they came from. Now, look, forget who's the messenger. You may hate Trump because he's rude or he has mean tweets or whatever. And Elon Musk, you hate him because he raised his right hand. All right. And it, whatever. I don't care. But look at the message. Do you disagree with the message? I mean, if you do, let me know.
they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But
he says that they're very good at investing because they come in with thousands and they leave with millions.
what happened to USAID? We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But just there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it.
Do you think there's people in the U.S. government getting wealthy at the taxpayers event? Yes or no? I mean, do you guys? And is this old? Is this an old theory? I'm asking for a friend.
So, you know, we're looking at, say, well, we just if you look at say Treasury, for example. Basic controls that should be in place, that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it.
Now, there should be someone also looking at Elon Musk, right? I mean, that I do agree. He watches them. Someone watches him. That's fine.
None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional.
The fact that there's someone sitting next to a president of the United States after how many years this country is, saying that there's people within the government ripping your money off, using the funneling the taxpayers' money to go into their pockets, or at least letting them, that's a big victory, folks. And I don't know, man. Even if Trump would say, I'm the dictator now, he's always going to be questioned because he's allowing the questioning of the government here. Now, I've always been one that says, before you tax everyone, audit. Where is the money going? If you notice, a lot of politicians are like, tax, 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 but don't audit. Why? Audit meaning look at where your taxpayer money is going. Your money. You are a taxpayer.
Appropriation can take up to a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present. So you say, like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy. When you understand that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization. So,
and it's weird because I see a lot of people saying they're liberal friends, this and that. That was a liberal thing, man. That's one thing I love about liberals. They always would call out the U.S. government on overspending on bull crap. That's an admirable thing about liberals. That's why people love liberals, right? But now they're like don't want to call out people on big spend. They don't want to call the government, or at least it's perceived that way. Like, that's weird. That's weird. You all were the ones saying that government spends way too much money on BS, wasteful spending. And now because you don't like the guy that's actually doing something about it, you're going to pretend it's a bad thing? Whatever, it's a bad look.
So then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? The fact that it's being quiet. Has anyone ever questioned that? Have you ever seen anything like this, by the way? No. Have we been asking as citizens of the United States for something like this? Yes. Or are we like dogs chasing a car? We wouldn't know what to do once we caught up to it. That's what it seems like.
Your tax dollars need to be spent. Why is that? Like, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So
Musk is blowing up rockets with your money. Really? Do you think NASA? Well, first of all, the US government's blowing up people with my money, with wars. And SpaceX happens to be an Elon Musk funded thing. So that's silly. I don't get, with all due respect. You know what I mean? And plus, this country needs to be more innovative. Remember John F. Kennedy? We're going to the moon. What happened to that? We're not innovating anything. You have a hard time thinking billionaires go after fraud. I don't think all billionaires are fraudulent. I mean, that's just the way I think. I don't know. We'll see. Right? I mean, there's a billionaire right now sitting in the White House calling out people ripping off other people. That's never happened. You know?
So, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay.
People collecting a Social Security that are 150 years old.
They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, that's a case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess.
There's people collecting Social Security that are 150 years old. What the is going on?
Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, one of the things is we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this obviously there need to be a lot of people working with the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, let's if people can retire, with full benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything. And then we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we were told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a month.
I mean, yeah, our money is going to wars that aren't even our own. Meanwhile, some of us are starving. Yes, and then some of us are complaining about this guy calling it out and having the innovation, thinking of going to the Mars. How is that bad? How is that bad? The United States used to be the forefront of that. And everyone that complains about the U.S. now, they always point to that time JFK said we're going to the moon. And now this guy's saying we're going to Mars because we were already been to the moon. And just because you don't like him, because someone told you not to, you're complaining. Who remembers that line in Independence Day where the dad goes to the father of the president goes, you don't think we really, they're talking about government spending. You don't really think they spend $20,000 on a toilet bowl, do you? Because they're pretty much laundering taxpayer money. $20,000 for a toilet bowl. Remember that? That was a liberal guy in the movie. The character was liberal, questioning government spending.
Mine. And like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a.
He needs to show some proof. He just started this thing though. So, okay. So Renee, you think that U.S. government is not fun? You don't think people in the government are laundering money?
Time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down and then sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this. So I think if we take those people and say, like, you know what, instead of working in a mine shaft and carrying manila envelopes.
By the way, Elon Musk is a terrible speaker. That I'm not going to take away from that. I'm not going to debate that.
To, boxes in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else. And you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way. So anyway, so I think, that's an example. Like at a high level, if you say, like, how do we increase prosperity, is we get people to shift from roles that are low to negative productivity to high productivity roles. And so you increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal. Everyone's very quiet. So
okay, now you're going to get some questions from, I believe you're going to get questions from the media. Let's see what they ask.
Nobody was quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
There we go. Good question.
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted, we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Musk.
Now, was Musk, was he elected? No. Did anyone vote for him directly? No. But Donald Trump was talking about involving Elon Musk everywhere. And not everyone's elected. People get appointed to stuff.
The White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances
Okay,
that
here we
are
go.
in place
Checks
to
and
ensure
balances.
that
Very important question. Who watches The Watchmen?
there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been...
Yeah, Fauci wasn't elected, folks. Every time they say Elon Musk wasn't elected, I want everybody who hears this, well, was Fauci elected? Would anyone vote for Fauci? Didn't the president listen to him too? Didn't a lot of presidents listen to him? Let me know in the comments.
And to the Doge website.
By the way, let's get to 72,000 subscribers right now. Hit that like, hit the subscribe.
So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been... I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization. So, you know, and the kind of...
Okay, Fauci has qualifications. Elon Musk has qualifications. He has successful companies he audits. It's the same thing. I mean, yeah, he's a doctor, right? Now, by the way, though, I will say this. Not all doctors are smart or know their shit. You know, folks, let me tell you something. Doctors, when they try to help, okay, most of them. But you got to do your own research. That's on a side note. When you go to the doctor and they analyze you with something, get on that, ask questions and get some, yeah. So there you go. A lot of doctors are cooked as fuck.
Things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. They're not.
I mean, doctors told us Biden was doing okay, right?
You know what I mentioned, for example, about Treasury, just making sure that payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly. That the payment is explained.
Besides, no doctor or scientist ever says don't question them. That's what science is: questioning, evolving, learning. It's medical practice, not medical fact.
Payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly, that the payment is explained, that organizations on the do not pay list, which takes a lot to get there, that actually are not paid, which currently they are paid. These are not individual judgment decisions. These are about simply having sensible checks and balances in the system itself to ensure that taxpayer money is spent well. So it's got nothing to do with, like, say, a contract with some company of mine at all.
But if there is a conflict of interest when it comes to you yourself, for instance, you've received billions of dollars in federal contracts when it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president, I know, has directed you to look.
Now, mind you, none of these reporters gave a shit before this. They didn't give a shit that there was wasteful spending in the government. Now they do. Now they do all of a sudden. Weird, right? Is that weird?
Look into.
Yeah.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say, like, wait a second, hey, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that.
Newsflash. Elon Musk and Donald Trump made the legacy media, the mainstream media, concerned about wasteful spending in Washington. That's a good thing, right? Finally, after how many years? 200?
Say it immediately,
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And if we thought that, we would not let him do that segment or look in that area. If we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we watched that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this. Now,
all right. Well, that's what I said. That's my opinion. as well as Trump's. I didn't know he was going to say this, actually.
One thing also that Elon hasn't really mentioned are the groups of people that are getting some of these payments. They're ridiculous. And we're talking about billions of dollars that we've already found. We found fraud and abuse. I would say those two words as opposed to the third word that I usually use, but in this case, fraud and abuse.
What's the third?
It's abusive because most of these things are virtually made up, or certainly money shouldn't be sent to them. And you know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. So, but we're talking about tens of billions of dollars that we've already found. And now a judge who's an activist judge wants to try and stop us from doing this. Why? Why would they want to do that? I campaigned on this. I campaigned on the fact that I said government is corrupt. And it is very corrupt. It's very, very, it's also foolish. As an example, a man has a contract for 3 months and the contract ends, but they keep paying him for the
800 people watching right now. Let's get all 800 of you to subscribe. I know most of you are not subscribed right now. Top right-hand corner, subscribe. 800 people watching. Get to 72,000 subscribers right now, folks.
next 20 years, you know,
Yeah.
because nobody ends a contract. You get a lot of that. You have a contract that's a 3-month contract. Now, normally, if you're in a small, in all fairness, it's the size of this thing is so big.
Yeah.
But if you have a contract and you're in a regular business, you end the contract in 3 months. You know, it's a consultant. Here's a contract for 3 months, but it goes on for 20 years.
Also, what country, city, or state are you watching from in the comments? Let me know what country, city, or state you're watching from in the comments.
And the guy doesn't say that he got money for 20 years, you know? They don't say it. They just keep getting checks month after month. And you have various things like that, and even much worse than that, actually, much worse. And I guess you call that incompetence, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be corruption. It could be deals made on both sides, you know, where the guy gets the money, he kicks. I think there's a lot of kickback here. I see a lot of kickback here.
There's a lot of kickbacks.
A tremendous kickback, because nobody could be so stupid to give out some of these contracts.
Yeah.
So he has to get a kickback. So that's what I got elected for, that and borders and military and a lot of things, but this is a big part of it. And I hope that the court system is going to allow us to do what we have to do. We got elected.
And just like that, Ann Rasmussen has gifted 10 memberships, folks. 10 memberships by Ann Rasmussen. Let's hearts in the chat for her. Let's see those emojis. Hearts for Ann Rasmussen right now, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is Nerd Report. And thank you for the support. We really, really do need it, folks. We're trying to get some good stuff for you coming this year. I've been struggling with personal issues, you know, helping my mom and everything, and I'm trying to get over that. And you guys have been super supportive and keeping me sane and building this channel up by subscribing. If you agree with President Trump and Elon Musk, subscribe right now. If you don't agree, subscribe right now. Everyone's welcome.
To among other things, find all of this fraud, abuse, all of this horrible stuff going on. And we've already found billions of dollars, not like.
Okay, so this guy says, let's get him. Let's highlight you. Nerd Report is doing this for money, and he knows this is propaganda. Dude, I get shit for money here, dude. I barely get paid. I don't even know how I could afford a meal, but I'm going to delete your ass because I think you're working for someone getting, I don't know, man. Okay, bootlicker. That's what you are. You're a bootlicker, man. They're questioning government and you're upset. Get out of here, clown. If you think that guy's a clown, subscribe right now. I deleted every person I delete. Subscribe-a-thon. Subscribe to Nerd Report right now. I need 10 more people doing this for money. Dude, yesterday I did a 4-hour stream. Got zero support financially, right? But I'll still do it because I'm doing it because I enjoy it. I enjoy you guys for money. That's right. That's right. I can't stand Trump, but I love Lewis. There you go. That's the love, Shelly. That's right. Check that out. My people supporting it must hurt you. Doesn't it hurt that people are saying more super chats in the comments? More a dollar super chat, dollar super sticker. Nerd Report does this for money. Get out of here. There's Shelly disagreeing with my views on Trump, but still loves me. Hearts for Shelly. Hearts for Shelly. There's a lot of ignorant. I do this for money. Who do I look like to you, man? Candace Owen? She's rich. You know what? I am doing this one for money. You know why? Because I want the government to be more efficient with the taxes they take away from me. This one's for money. You're right.
A little bit, billions, many billions of dollars. And when you get down to it, it's going to be probably close to $1 trillion. It could be close to $1 trillion that we're going to find. That will have quite an impact on the budget. And you'll go to a judge where they handpick a judge and he has certain leanings. I'm not knocking anybody for that, but he has certain leanings. And he wants us to stop looking. How do you stop looking? I mean, we've already found it. We have a case in New York where a hotel has paid $59 million, $59 million because it's housing migrants, illegal migrants, all illegal, I believe.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with I contradict myself. Get out of here, dude. Here, I'm going to contradict myself. Again, I'm deleting you. Contradict myself. Get out of here. I don't need your shit. I'm not in a good mood today. There. I contradict myself. Open your fucking ears, man. I could change my mind if I want. I said I'm not doing this for money, but then I thought about it. Yeah, I am. You know why? Not 100%, but I'm partially doing it for money because these fuckers seem to be looking at wasteful spending of my tax money and yours. So this one's for money. All right. And in 1 minute, I could change it too. I could change it again. That's what you could do when you have a channel. You could change your mind and I could delete your ass. What do you guys think of my rants? Thumbs up. Hearts in the chat.
And they were being paid twice the normal room rate at 100% occupancy.
Unbelievable.
So it's a racket.
Yeah.
Mr. Musk, can I ask you a question? You
Well,
said
if I may sort of just going for the president's comments, at a high level, say, what are the two ingredients that are really necessary in order to cut the budget deficit in half from 2 trillion to 1 trillion? And it's really two things: competence and caring. And if you add competence and caring, you'll cut the budget deficit in half. And I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam, basically. Might as well just camp out there. So it's not like I think I can get away with something. I'll be scrutinized nonstop. But with support of the president, we can cut the budget deficit in half from 2 trillion to 1. And then with deregulation, because there's a lot of sort of regulations that don't ultimately serve the public good. We need to free the builders of America to build. And if we do that, that means I think we can get the economic growth to be maybe 3-4%, maybe 5%. And that means if you can get $1 trillion of economic growth and you cut the budget deficit by $1 trillion, between now and next year, there is no inflation. There's no inflation in 26. And if the government is not borrowing as much, it means that interest costs decline. So everyone's the mortgage, their car payment, their credit card bills, anything, their student debt, the monthly payments drop. That's a fantastic scenario for the average American. I mean, imagine they're going down the grocery aisle and the prices from one year to the next are the same, and their mortgage, all their debt payments dropped. How great is that for the average American?
We had
That's
no
what we're
idea. We had
The fact that there's in the White House saying that there's wasteful spending is a victory, man. Come on. Who says that?
No idea we're going to find this much. And it's open. It's not like complicated. It's
It's not that
simple stuff.
complicated.
It's
Just
like
a lot of work.
we
Yeah.
can't believe it. A lot of work, a lot of smart people involved. Very, very smart people. But you're talking about anywhere maybe $500 billion. It's crazy the kind of number.
Folks, we're almost at 72,000 subscribers. 73,000. We could do that right now. Everyone subscribe. Top right-hand corner. Let's go.
It is really crazy.
You know, normally when you're looking at something, you'll find you're looking for 1 out of 100. Here, you're almost reversing it. You look for one that's good.
Yeah.
And you can look at the title and you say, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And the public gets it. You know, the public gets it. You've seen the polls. The public is saying, why are we paying all this money? This for years, this has gone on.
Oh, wait. Hey, look, Hannah, hey, I'm in a bad mood, Hannah. So, but it's all good. You're not in an airport. You do not need to announce that you're leaving, but I'm deleting you because usually people that do that, I'm banning you. You're saying you're unsubbing. Okay, no one gives a shit. I don't want you in my channel. I want good people. So I need 10 more good people to subscribe as you're watching right now. Subscribe, 10 more people. Look, and then say, thank you, Hannah, for the 10 new people. Every time someone acts like an ass and I have to ban, I solicit for more subs. Every time you all do that, not only do I ban you, but I get like 100 new subs. So please keep it coming, all right? New subs. Hey, introduce yourself in the comments. Introduce yourself in the comments. Bye, Hannah. Bye. Na, 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, go ahead.
Senator Rand Paul today said that Doge cuts will ultimately need a vote in Congress. Do you agree with that? Is that the plan?
I really don't know. I know this. We're finding tremendous fraud and tremendous abuse. If I need a vote of Congress to find fraud and abuse, it's fine with me. I think we'll get the vote, although there'll be some people that wouldn't vote. And how could a judge want to hold us back from finding all of this fraud and finding all of this incompetence? Why would that happen? Why would even Congress want to do that? Now, Congress, if we do need a vote, I think we'd get a very easy vote because we have a.
Oh, and all those people emailing me, calling me names because they don't like that I'm reporting this kind of stuff and I have an opinion. Subscribe if you love free speech, man. I could talk about whatever I want. I got so many people sending me hate mail and calling me the N-word. Yeah, I get that. Crap. That's why I'm fuming.
Track record now. We've already found billions of dollars of abuse, incompetence, and corruption. A lot of corruption.
If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda, will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply?
Well, I
with that
always
order?
abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum, and it gives crooked people more time to cover up the books. You know, if a person's crooked and they get caught, other people see that, and all of a sudden it becomes harder later on. So, yeah, the answer is I always abide by the courts, always abide by them, and will appeal. But appeals take a long time, and I would hope that a judge, if you go into a judge and you show him, here's a corrupt situation, we have a check to be sent, but we found it to be corrupt. Do you want us to send this corrupt check to a person, or do you want us not to give it and give it back to the taxpayer? I would hope a judge would say, don't send it, give it back to the taxpayer.
Yeah, if I can add to that, what we're finding is that a bunch of the fraud is not even going to Americans. So I think we can all agree that if there's going to be a fraud, it should at least go to Americans.
Yeah, what do you
But
think?
a bunch
Should
of
it
the
go
fraud
to
rings
the
that are
taxpayer?
operating in the United States and taking advantage of the federal government, especially in the entitlements programs, are actually foreign fraud rings. They're operating in other countries and actually exporting money to other countries. We should stop that.
Mr. Musk,
And this is big numbers. Talking about $100 to $200 billion a year. Serious money.
Mr. Musk, you said on X that an example of the fraud that you have cited was 50 million.
By the way, I have a Patreon. You can support Nerd Report on Patreon. I'm dropping the link in the comments. Let's get like 5 more Patreons in here. Are you on my Patreon? Are you on the Nerd Report Patreon? Exclusives are coming soon. There's a free version. There's a paid version. If you want to go that extra mile, dropping the link in the comments. Let's go.
$1 billion of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact check this, apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas, actually. It was sent to...
Yeah, you know what's wilder? Yeah, I could change my mind anytime I want, Jason. Sorry, dude. Why don't you start a channel, though? And lead by example. Show me how to do it, man.
to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can
Condoms
we
are
make
both
sure
from
that
beach.
all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about. And that is really an enormous number of condoms, if you think about it.
Well, at least someone's getting laid. Dun-dun-dun.
Went to Mozambique instead of Gaza, I'm like, okay, that's not as bad, but still, why are we doing that?
Mr. Musk, can you talk a little bit about how closely you're working with agency heads as you're directing these cuts? Do they have how much input do agency heads have when you're making these decisions?
Yeah, we work closely with the agency heads, yeah. So there are sort of checks in place. So it's not just us just going in and doing things willy nilly. It's in partnership with the agency heads, and I check frequently with the president to make sure that this is what the president wants to have happen. So we talk almost every day, and I double check things to make sure.
This is a good point. Tuxedo says the condoms are to stop the spread of AIDS. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. But is it U.S. responsibility to do that when our people are dying with no health care? Thoughts?
Something, Mr. President, you want us to do this? We'll do it.
USAID has been one of your main targets. Are you concerned at all that some of the cuts or that shutting that agency altogether may lead to diseases or other bigger problems starting in other countries that then come to the United States?
Yeah, so that's an interesting example. So that's something where we work closely with the State Department and Secretary Rubio. And we have, for example, turned on funding for Ebola prevention and for HIV prevention. Yes, correct. And we are moving fast, so we will make mistakes, but we'll also fix the mistakes very quickly.
We're 600 away from 73,000 subscribers, folks. Let's do that right now. 600 away. Subscribe. Let's go.
So,
do you see it as a worthy cause, USAID?
I think that there's some worthy things, but overall, if you say what is the bang for the buck, I would say it was not very good. And there was far too much of what USAID was doing was influencing elections in ways that I think were dubious and do not stand the light of day.
I can just ask a follow-up to the Pentagon contracts. If you have received billions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon, and the president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense, is that a conflict of interest?
Are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where...
Okay, that kid is cute. Come on. Regardless, it's not the kid's fault if you hate these people, right? But that kid's cute. And can we stop that Elon Musk has? You know how many kids Elon Musk has? 11. Can we stop shaming him for having 11 kids? I think he could afford it. I think it's worse we talk about people who refuse to get a real job and have 11 kids or 15 or 20. I think that's worse.
The
Shit.
where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value for money for the taxpayer, let me know, because every one of them was.
The president said the other day that you might look at treasuries. Could you explain that a little bit? What kind of fraud, and that question goes to both of you, what kind of fraud are you expecting to see or do you see right now in U.S. treasuries?
I think you mean the Treasury Department as opposed to Treasury bills, or
You also referenced treasuries on Air Force One the other night.
Go ahead.
well, as I mentioned earlier, really the first order of business is to make sure we're actually collecting. Sorry for this, although my son might enjoy this. But
Jennifer Marie says, I have 5 kids. It's all the same after 3. All right, Jennifer Marie. By the way, Jennifer Marie, you look great, man. When did you have time to have 5 kids? What are you, like 23? It's weird.
but he's sticking his fingers in my ears and stuff. So it's been hard to hear sometimes. Hey, stop that. No, the stuff we're doing with Treasury Department is so basic that you can't believe it doesn't exist already. So for example, it's like, what type of payment is this? You can't just leave the field blank. Currently, many payments, the field is left blank. And you have to describe what's the payment for, some basic rationalization. That also is left blank. So this is why, the Pentagon, when's the last time the Pentagon passed an audit? I mean, a decade ago, maybe? Ever? Really? And we want to just, in order to actually pass audits, you have to have financial information that allows you to trace the payments. And once in a while, the
Shelly, you have kids? I never asked you, so.
Treasury has to pause payments if it thinks the payment is going to a fraudulent organization. Like, if you get on that payment, the do not pay list, it means that this is someone that is like dead people, terrorists, known fraudsters, that kind of thing. We should not pay them. But currently we do, which is crazy. We should stop that.
Folks, don't forget, we are also moving a lot of videos to Rumble. I'm dropping the link in the comments. Nerd Report on Rumble. It's the one with over 1,000 subs. Link is in the comments. Rumble. Thank you.
And by the way, 100 team. And for the sake of the country, I hope that
It's okay, Renee. Don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, everyone's different. Don't be sad. Renee says she couldn't have kids. Everyone's different. But you know what? We're blessed to have you here, okay? We're blessed to have you here. That's the thing.
the person that's in charge and the other people that report to me that are in charge are allowed to do the right thing, namely make sure everything's honest, legitimate, and competent. But we're looking at just, when you look at USAID, that's one. We're going to look at the military. We're going to look at education. They're much bigger areas. But the USAID is really corrupt. I'll tell you, it's corrupt. It's incompetent, and it's really corrupt.
We got a new sub, Sergeant Crab 96. We're almost at 73,000 subs. Holy shit, dude. We're like 600 away. Let's do it right now. Come on. Subscribe right now to Nerd Report.
And I can't imagine a judge saying, well, it may be corrupt, but you don't have the right. You got elected to look over the country and to, as we say, make America great again, but you don't have the right to go and look and see whether or not things are right that they're paying or that things are honest that they're paying. And nobody can even believe this. Other people, law professors, right away. You're supposed to be running the country, but we're not allowed to look at who they're paying it to and what they're.
Jules is welcoming everyone. What's up? Hearts for Jules too, man. Jules has been going through some shit and she's winning. She is winning, man. Hearts for Jules in the comments.
Paying. We have massive amounts of fraud that we caught. I think we probably caught way over a lot of billions of dollars already in what, 2 weeks?
Yes.
And it's going to go to numbers that you're not going to believe. And much, as I said, much is incompetence and much is dishonesty. We have to catch it. And the only way we're going to catch it is to look for it. And if a judge is going to say you're not allowed to look for it, that's pretty sad for our country. I don't understand how it could even work.
On the buyout program, can you personally guarantee that?
Which one?
The buyout program, the offer to federal workers. Can you personally guarantee that the workers who opt in to resign now will be paid through
Well, they'll get
September?
their money, but they're getting a good deal. They're getting a big buyout. And what we're trying to do is reduce government. We have too many people. We have office space. It's occupied by 4%. Nobody's showing up to work because they were told not to. And then Biden gave them a 5-year pass, some of them, 48,000 of them, gave them a 5-year pass that for 5 years, you don't have to show up to work. And let me tell you, this is largely, much of this stuff is because of Biden. It's his fault. He allowed this country, what he did on our border. What he did on our border is almost not as bad as what he did with.
DOD says Trump is a bald-faced liar. And I'm highlighting your message. We'll welcome diverse opinion. We welcome the opinion. Right there, your highlight.
All of these contracts that have come out.
Inner Circle is
It's a very sad day when we look at it. I can't even believe it. But many contracts just extend and they just keep extending, and there was nobody there to correct it. And that cannot be, I can't imagine that could be held up by the court. Any court that would say that the president or his representatives, like Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of State, whatever, doesn't have the right to go over their books and make sure everything's honest. I mean, how can you have a country? You can't have anything that way. You can't have a business that way. You can't have a country that way. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred. Head out.
Mark Fogel will be at the White House tonight at about 10 o'clock. If you want to come over, you can say hello to him.
Did you guys give anything in return?
Not much. No, they were very nice. We were treated very nicely by Russia, actually. I hope that's the beginning of a relationship where we can end that war and millions of people can stop being killed. They've lost millions of people. They lost, and I'm interested primarily from the standpoint of death. We're losing all those soldiers, and they're not American soldiers. They're Ukrainian and Russian soldiers, but you're probably talking about 1.5 million. I think we got to bring that one to an end. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're moving. Thank you. We're moving.
10 o'clock tonight at the White House.
Okay, check it out.
Thanks, everybody.
Check it out. Get more. Okay, do you guys want to hear Mayor Bass talk? We got an update with Mayor Bass on the fires. Remember the fires? Do you guys want to hear her talk? What her update? Press that 1 in the comments. Press that 1 in the comments. If you want to hear Mayor Bass, I'll play her video. 10 more subs. Let's get 10 more subs. Yes, I'm hustling the subs. All right, let's see where Mayor Bass is at. Can you hear this music?
As an increase for afternoon. You know that I'm here with Dr.
Could you guys hear that or no? All right. Mayor Bass, who remembers her? Let's go. Let's see. Oh.
who in a few minutes will give an in-depth update on weather. But a couple of the top lines. You know that we are expecting rain Wednesday through Thursday, and the heaviest of the storm is expected Thursday afternoon through Friday. So of course, because of the fires, this means that the area has an increase for debris flows and other impacts. And citywide, there could be mud flows, street flooding, and downed trees. So the city is making important preparations for the rain. We have a head start.
Oh,
and
shit, the
so
rain's coming.
more than
Tomorrow, the day
7,500
after
feet
tomorrow.
of concrete barriers, more than 6,500 sandbags and other erosion control measures
Wendy, thank you.
throughout the Palisades. Clearing of the catch basins and removal of fire debris to clear our storm drain system for these rains, and ensuring we have systems in place to capture polluted runoff before it flows into the ocean. So our city departments are on high alert, and our general managers are standing behind me here. The fire department will pre-deploy resources, and sandbags will be available at fire stations, so you can go to lacity.gov to identify which fire station. The Bureau of Sanitation has activated its wet weather plan, putting trucks, generators, and other equipment at the ready. And the DWP is putting crews on
Fires are not going
standby
out now.
to respond citywide to any outages. So please look for urgent alerts that might be sent to you via text, email, and phone through notifyla.org. And you can sign up for these alerts at notifyla.org. So I want to highlight two milestones, important milestones in the recovery and rebuilding process. So the DWP has restored nearly all electricity to nearly all of the standing homes in the
Finally, it's been what, a month?
to complete more complex temporary repairs, and will continue connecting individual customers to.
Jules, no offense, you missed vertical. Okay, everyone wants, isn't it horizontal though? Everyone doesn't like this format, but they don't show up when I did a video the other way. No one watched it. I did a horizontal video and no one watched it. So I got to go with people. This is up to 40,000 people watching it already. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, I miss horizontal. Go back to horizontal. So what? No one shows up.
The electricity is back on. Water is going to take a little longer, and especially because of the rains. So the second milestone that you are aware of is that the phase 2 of the debris removal was anticipated to be many, many months away. But I am proud to say that this is beginning now. So private property debris removal will begin in the Palisades this week, and this is record time, the fastest in modern California history. But we do have a challenge. In order for the Army Corps of Engineers to remove the debris on your property, you have to either opt in or opt out. So far, 2,400 individuals have opted in, 78 have opted out. That leaves 1,698 homes that need to either opt in or opt out. And we really want to encourage people to do this. That
horizontal or vertical? Let me know in the comments. How do you like the how do you like the video?
Two is if neighbors organize together and if entire blocks can submit their form, when the Army Corps of Engineers goes out, they can clear an entire area instead of going house by house. So this is an unprecedented disaster recovery effort. And my number one objective is always to do everything possible to make sure that families can rebuild their homes and their lives as quickly and as safely as possible. So this accelerated timeline emphasizes what happens when the local, state, and federal government are all coordinated and responding together. We'll be able to cut through bureaucracy and working together on behalf of the people of the Palisades. So once again, we need 1,698 families to either opt in or opt out. If there is any problem with that, you can go to lacity.gov to see the process. So tomorrow, we'll be opening our one-stop rebuilding office, which we've talked about for a while, where all of the appropriate city departments that will be involved in the planning and the permitting process will have one location so families can go there. And we are also going to open an impacted worker family recovery center for those Angelenos that worked in the Palisades. So if you were an employer, we want to make sure you let your employees know, or if you had people that worked on your property, we want to make sure that you let them know that this center will be there to help them with employment assistance and other things to get them back to normal. So with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Ariel Cohen from the National Weather Service.
She's not getting
Thank you
recalled.
so much for having me here,
Everyone
Mayor
forgot.
Bass. I want to really urge everyone to take the alerts seriously here. You know, exactly as the mayor mentioned, we have a return to some potentially dangerous weather conditions across the area. Most places are not going to experience those dangerous weather conditions, and it's possible we get through this rain event without any significant problems. But the potential is there. And those across the region, all Angelinos are encouraged to be taking the weather alerts seriously here. We already had flood watches the region issued, and as was mentioned earlier, we are now looking at what will be, up to this point, the most significant storm season so far this winter, impacting the greater Los Angeles area from Wednesday into Friday. Now, we'll have deteriorating weather conditions gradually taking place through the period on Wednesday, although the main concern is going to be Thursday afternoon through very early Friday morning. The greatest concern is going to be 2 p.m. on Thursday through 2 a.m. on Friday. That 12-hour window is going to be when we're looking for bursts of heavy rain to move across the region. Rain will be coming up gradually through the day Wednesday into.
You want me to cover the rain? You want me to go to like where there's floods? You want me to cover that? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want me to cover that. I'll go on location to cover the floods. Here we go. Rain event on Nerd Report. You know it's going to be nasty, man. I hate to say it.
Thursday afternoon through a little after midnight, we're going to have a strong bursts of rain coming through. With that activity, we're expecting total rainfall amounts to range from about 1 to 3 inches, except 3 to 6 inches over the mountains, including the Palisades and San Gabriel's region, which includes many of the burn scars. So that, with so many burn scars across the area and the rain having the character more of a bursting type of pattern, we're looking at very intense rainfall rates to bring the potential for significant debris flows. Now, we're not saying that they're definitely going to happen. We're saying right now approximately a 50 to 70% chance of that activity, but there's certainly a possibility that everyone stays okay, which would be the most fortunate outcome. However, given the elevated chances for significant debris flows consisting of raging torrents of rock slides and mudslides that can be damaging and even deadly, now is the time to start getting prepared for these potentially dangerous conditions. We're urging everyone to already have an evacuation plan prepared, know where to go, have multiple ways of receiving emergency alert information. If an evacuation warning or order is issued for your location, you have to take that seriously, because seconds mean the difference between life and death when it comes to those orders and warnings. So right now, already be thinking about the what ifs. What would you do if an evacuation warning or order were to come, or a flash flood warning were to be issued? Do not drive through flooded roadways. Even outside of the burn scars, we're looking at the potential for some pretty significant urban area flooding. Many freeways may be flooded out, and this will have the potential to also create very dangerous conditions across the region. And so everyone needs to be thinking about potential alternative travel arrangements. Do not ever drive through a flooded roadway. You don't know how deep the water is. It can turn deadly in a matter of seconds. So now is the time to be thinking about what you would do. You know, if you are in a particularly flood-prone area, think about using sandbags. Think about some of the other flood mitigation ways that you can take ahead of time, so that when the warnings come out, if they come out, you already have a plan in place and you're taking the steps rather than just getting ready right in the moment. Because again, seconds save lives. Now, also, with these bursts of very intense rain that will have the potential.
Folks, we're 500 away from 73,000 subscribers. Let's get some subscribers in here. 5 new
We're
subscribers.
looking at the potential for severe thunderstorm-like damaging wind gusts. Again, not a guarantee, but there will be that potential across the area as those bursts of heavy rain come through Thursday afternoon into the nighttime timeframe. Those winds, even without lightning strikes, even without thunder, will be capable of downing trees, power lines, creating flying debris, and that will have the potential to impede any ongoing recovery efforts across the area and be dangerous to anyone who is outdoors. So right now, remember, do not go near any down power lines at all. Stay away from trees if at all possible. And just please keep that in mind, because we could end up with sudden damaging wind gusts. We got to think ahead of time what we would do if those were to come. Don't be surprised if we're issuing warnings for severe thunderstorms with damaging winds. No guarantee.
Oh, shit. 10 more gifted memberships by Ann Rasmussen here on Nerd Report. Hearts for Ann. Hearts for Ann. Let's 1 million hearts. Let's just make this entire thing 1 million hearts for Ann. The hell, you know what? Forget Mayor Bass. Let's Ann. Hearts for Ann. Let's get some more hearts in there for Ann. The Karen Show with the support today. Ann with the support, and Shelly, and more of you supporting. Folks, my friend, I'm going to end the stream right now, but my friend is on live playing music. I want you to raid him right now. I'm dropping the link in the comments. Tell him Nerd Report sent you. All right? I'll be back on today, okay? Probably tonight I'll be back. Dropping the link in the comments. Hearts for Ann. Dropping the link in the comments. Tell him Nerd Report sent you. Let's see if he sees it. He's playing music, so get his attention. His name's Steve. Is it not working? The link's not working? Hold on. Click that link and go over there. Let me see if I see you in his comments. Who's going to be the first one to comment over there? The DJ Lab. Here. I'll show you him. Right there. Head over there. He's from Canada. He's always ranting, man. Show him some love. Go over there and comment, folks. I guess there's a 1 minute thing. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you there right after this. I'll see you there on the DJ Lab. Talk to you later. Nerd out.